listening to the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast with Tony D. Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast, your episodic dose of trivia covering all things video games and nerdy. Now, here's your host, Tony D.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Video Game and Nerd Trivia Podcast. On today, we're going to be doing another Minisode. And for Minisodes, instead of 3 rounds, we just do 1 round of 10 questions about a very specific topic. On today's episode, we're going to be going over 10 trivia questions about indie video game studios. How it works is I'll ask you a question, give you 5 seconds of silence, and then tell you the answer. And basically for this, I'm going to be telling you some of the published works from these indie studios, and you tell me the name of the studio. Alright, let's begin round 1. This studio is known for their release of No Man's Sky, and the studio name is also a way you greet people. What is the name of the studio? This is Hello Games. Question 2. This studio released Oxenfree, After Party, and Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals. It's also a type of education that you go to in the evening. What studio is this? This is Night School Studio. Question 3. This studio released the Divinity series and Divinity Original Sin, and they also continued working in Baldur's Gate 3 where BioWare left off. What studio is this? This is Larian Studios. Question 4. This studio released Abzu the Pathless and Sword of the Sea. It's also the name of a creature of the deep ocean in the family Archaeotutidae. Which studio is this? This is Giant Squid. Question 5. This studio released Limbo and Inside. It's also a common trick that dogs do in which they lay down still. Which studio is this? This is Playdead. Question 6. They are known for narrative games based on popular IPs like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, and the studio's name seems to be inspired by a work of Edgar Allan Poe. What studio is this? This is Telltale Games. Question 7. This studio released Foul Play, Hateful Boyfriend, and got their biggest hit with Fall Guys. Which studio is this? This is Mediatonic. Question 8. They are known for Octodad, Dadliest Catch, and Bugsnax. The studio's name is also a synonym for a foal. What studio is this? This is Young Horses. Question 9. This studio is known for their video games A Way Out and It Takes Two. Which studio is this? This is Hazelight Studios. And finally, question 10. This studio released Bastion, Transistor, Pyre, and Hades, and it shares its name with a type of star that are usually the most massive and most luminous type of stars. What studio is this? This is Supergiant Games. Alright, just a quick episode there. Lots of these indie studio games and indie studio developers. Very, very good games that were released. These are probably the 10 best ones I've known. If you played any of these games, write us and let me know what you thought of those games. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, please email me anytime, vgndpodcast@gmail.com. I will give you a shout out in a future episode. And if you like this episode, please rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really helps us reach more people. As always, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, trivia on.